Forget the flowers, forget the expensive dates, forget everything social media says men want. If you asked 1,000 men one question, what do you really want from your woman? Would the answers offend modern society? Has the world become so focused on what women deserve that nobody asks what men need? Tonight we're turning the tables again. Stay tuned for part 2 of what men really want from his women. Actually, from his woman. Get me in trouble.
Are you ready for some controversy? Yeah. Are you ready for some fun? Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready for some laughs? Yeah. Let's get unfiltered with Cycle 4081.
Welcome back to part 2 of what men really want from their women. In part 1, we discussed respect, loyalty, peace, and appreciation. And we got some really, really interesting responses on that. So in the second part, we'll be discussing the next 4 things a man wants from his woman. So let's kick it off with number 5. Physical attraction matters. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Most men do care about physical attraction. That doesn't mean perfection. It just means effort. Many women expect men to remain attracted regardless of major lifestyle changes. Should they? So that's what we're going to focus on for number 5. My question to you guys, thank you again for tuning in or coming back. But my question is maintaining physical attraction both partners' responsibility? And we're going to go with Paul first.
I believe that's absolutely the truth.
Okay.
Because the reason why I say that is because if I want my woman to be someone that I'm attracted to, it's only fair, and I know she wants me to be the same way. So that's one of the reasons why I'm always taking care of myself, trying to be in the best physical shape that I can be in.
Dimitri, you agree with that?
100%. He's stealing my answers. Honestly, I think that is the answer for everybody. Honestly,
Okay.
there's no other way. If you got a different answer than that, I would like to hear that.
Okay. So I'm going to say yes as well. I know you was expecting me to say no, but yeah, it is both partners' responsibility because it goes both ways. So you can't expect the woman to stay physically attracted to you, although we're not talking about what a woman wants, but you can't expect them to reciprocate, if you don't do your part. So now let me ask Donna, do you feel it's both partners' responsibility, and how can that? No, that's your question, and I'm gonna follow up with words. Do you think it's both partners' responsibility to stay attractive to each other?
I think it's my responsibility to keep myself up for me to be in good health. I think it's my husband's responsibility to keep himself up to be in good health because, we both had some situations where we could have been taken out of here for the lack of taking care of yourself properly. However, looks are superficial. If I got into an accident tomorrow and I was disfigured or couldn't walk or whatever, I might not be physically attractive. Does that mean because I'm disfigured or whatever you're going to leave? Because, see, looks are superficial. It's on what's on the inside that you should be worried about.
Well,
is that person going to be with me should something major pop up and I have to have a leg amputated? This is your show. Is about what men want. And if y'all want somebody to look like Halle Berry all the time, you're gonna get Halle Berry.
We didn't say that.
It's a real woman.
But
we didn't say that.
For the record, we don't care if you have 1 or 2 legs or no legs, because sometimes legs can just get in the way. So that's fine. That's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes legs is a detriment.
Exactly.
Get them out the way.
Exactly. So for words, let me ask you this. And I forgot my follow up question. What can you do? Now I agree with Donna what you just said. I agree. It's both partners' responsibility for keeping themselves in a certain order to maintain attraction. I can't do anything for you, and you can't do anything for me. It's up to us to do whatever. So for words, I got a question for you. How do you think that can happen as a woman? Don't talk about the man part. As a woman.
Well, so that a way for me and my husband to spend quality time together because we are apart more than we're together because of our working schedules. We both work multiple jobs. We like to tend to meet up at the gym. That's
Okay.
just a way for us to, you know, hey, how you doing? How you doing? What's going on? You know, we get time working on ourselves to connect with one another. You know, a way for us to spend time together. I don't keep myself up for any man. I have never been that type of female that let me look good. No, I like to look good for me.
Okay.
And
So
I've been on.
if even
Mhm.
if you want to even if you want to keep yourself looking good for you, right? Obviously, you do want to keep your man happy. So or help them with their wants. And if a man says, "Hey," and every man knows it, that they not saying that what's attractive to one man is the same for all, but physical attraction is important and does matter. And we're not saying that if something was to happen, to leave, but we're saying
Yeah.
it's important. And where we're talking about is that you can get into a situation, a relationship, whatever, and you get so comfortable that you just let yourself go and you put no effort into it. And that's what men want. They want effort. We know for the most part. There's some shallow people out there, but we know for the most part that you're not going to be able to do the same things that we do, generally speaking. And I think we'll appreciate the fact that you put the effort in, right? Instead of just letting yourself totally go. But I do get that you don't have to do it for the other person. You could do it for yourself. But knowing that your man and you have to both sides, you work towards making your other your partner happy, and that's what they want, then yeah, you kind of are doing it for your man, right? So
No, no, no. Again,
no, you said
for
no.
me, I'm doing it for me. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm keeping my okay. Cause see, I feel like we've talked about this before was on that show, and we talked about my insecurities because there was a point that I was an average weight, and then I moved to the Eastern Shore, and I ended up gaining a lot of weight because of my mental, health. Because I gravitate towards food when I'm feeling certain kinds of ways or, whatever, whatever. And I just, ended up gaining a lot of weight. But never in that did I not keep myself up. And then I ended up losing a lot of weight. So then, you know, skin hangs is not what I would feel like very attractive.
Uh oh,
And
we're
that
losing you.
plays on my psyche. But for my husband, none of that. Oh, snap. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yes, you can't hear us
Hello,
apparently.
am I back? Okay, you can hear me now.
Yes.
I think it's the Wi-Fi. It's my connection.
Okay. You must
But
have
I
an
should be
Android.
back. You should be able to hear me now because I'm closer to the box. What was the last thing that you heard?
Something about that you was found it your God's plan to work hard because your husband wanted to be so, and
I know I ain't
his
say that.
physical attraction is of utmost importance.
You said when you let yourself go, you were still looking nice.
Yes, yes,
Like you didn't let yourself go when
I
you
had
gained
gained
weight.
the weight. I gained
Yes.
the weight, but I was still, keeping myself up. But it played a part on my psyche. It It made me feel very insecure. But I knew that my husband loved me when he was like, listen, we both getting older. As long as you're doing what you need to do to be healthy, the diabetes is, down, the blood pressure is down, your numbers are reversing. That's what's important, because at the end of the day, you get older. Is it important to be healthy? Absolutely. Is it important to keep yourself up? Sure, it is. But y'all want what y'all want. And I think sometimes the outer appearance, the shell, is so superficial, because it's really what matters on the inside. Who's going to really be your ride and die when you're getting old and you wrinkled and your balls then hit the floor and you're dragging them around? You know what I mean? Like, is she still going to love me when all of that is happening? Because we all ain't going to be put together all the time.
Okay, and
But I do believe that it is important to keep yourself up. Yes.
that is the sad truth. But let me ask you something. Like I said, when I said, men want not always perfection; they want effort, right? So this is for Tasha here, since you just back in. Is it shallow to expect effort on a man's part? Like, is a man being shallow if he expects effort from his woman?
No,
Okay.
no, definitely not.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Okay.
But it's not about women.
Thank you. So let me ask the guys here, the two guys here. Do you expect effort when it comes to your woman keeping themselves up physically, or making, not when I say physically, making them physically attractive according to how you like it? Because everybody's different. Like I said, everybody likes a different whatever.
You want to go first, Paul? Or you want me?
Yeah, for me, yes. And first I want to say this. Yes, I understand that as we get older, nobody's going to be perfect, right? And we understand that. We know that it's more about the inside. However, while you are able to still do what you do, and like you're still able to present an effort. So yes, I want my woman to take and be intentional with presenting herself in an attractive manner, just
Okay.
like I would.
Have you ever talked to her about what you see as attractive, or has she asked you those things?
All the time.
Okay, so you guys had the communication. That's good. Dimitri,
All the time.
do you expect your woman to have an effort in maintaining, a physical attractiveness?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Donna Moore on this one because when I first meet them, how they look, I'm attracted to them because I feel like traction. When you first meet a woman, a woman meet a man, I don't care what they say, you got to be attracted at some point to them at all to talk to them and date them and go forward, right? So when I first get locked in from meeting them the first time, I'm good, and I be with them for a while, and I realize this is the one I want. I'm more concerned at this point now at the health thing than them looking more like the booty round still and the breast still curve and like all that stuff. No, I'm more locked in now for the health because I plan on being with them long term. So,
But
Okay,
but
answer your
but you
question,
initially got there.
go ahead.
But you initially got there by the attraction, though, right?
I did, but that don't mean. See, what I'm coming from is that don't mean that they have to maintain that figure. Long as they maintain that health, so they can be around.
So wait a minute.
We didn't say.
We
We
didn't say
didn't say.
figure, right? We said attraction.
Yeah.
So make no mistakes. When you're attracted to somebody, it's not always because they have a certain shape or size or anything like that.
Right.
You may be attracted to someone for physical things like, how they walk, how they dress, how they wear their makeup or not wear makeup, how they do their hair, a whole bunch of different things, right?
Right. Right.
So it
Right,
depends on what you
at
say.
after I don't care about all that after I'm been with them for a minute.
Okay,
Like
so just to be clear, you
that
said
stuff doesn't matter.
after you've been with a woman, you guys you got together, you let's say you fell in love and all that type of stuff. So it's totally okay for them to just let themselves go.
See,
That's what you saying now.
well, no,
That's
no,
what you
no,
saying.
Daddy.
That's what you're
That's not
saying.
what he just said.
That's what
No,
you
no,
saying.
but you just said the way they walk and all this stuff. Yeah, I was the one saying shape.
Right, but
I
I'm just
wasn't
saying
saying.
when I say let themselves go, that means like if you're attracted to a certain thing and they let that go, whatever however you're attracted to another woman, that's fine. If they let that
Because y'all
go,
comfortable with each other. That's what you're saying.
exactly.
Yeah, as long as they keep their health up. You know
The
what I
hell,
mean? Like
okay, so
you could put on a few pounds, and I'm cool with it. Long as you still like she said earlier, healthy, and
We ain't say
that's the
few
most part.
pounds. We ain't say nothing about few pounds. You said
Now,
fall off. You
exactly.
you
That's
said
are
that
you talking about? Are you talking about rest? Are you talking about from Jessica Busha to Respucia? Are you
you.
talking about
Well,
that?
of course,
I mean
if a woman puts on
I
a few
mean
pounds, that's not going to change how a person looks. But we talking about like letting themselves go. You said it doesn't matter at all. The physical attraction part, right? You don't expect them to maintain, or not maintain. You don't expect them to make an effort. So that was a question, right? So you met a woman. Let's say she's 185 pounds. Let's say she's 200 pounds, right? And then you guys get together and whatever. Next thing you know, she's 400 pounds.
Oh, nah.
Okay, so it does
Nah.
matter that you do expect her to make an effort not to.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
and that goes back to what I'm saying. If she puts on 400 pounds, that means she's not healthy, and that goes back to the health thing too.
okay,
You know,
okay, okay. So I guess it depends on what you, because, and we'll talk about that at another time, but what you consider um, attraction. So this is for everybody. Does attraction, and this I just want a yes or no question. I mean, yes or no response on this one. Does attraction naturally change with age? Like as you guys get older, let me clarify that. As you guys get older, right? Does what attracted you when you were younger change to what attracts you now? And I think we're all over 30. So back when you was in your 20s,
I believe it can. I believe it
okay.
can.
Hmm. And
Because even though if I meet someone and I'm physically attracted to that person over years, I may become more attracted to her mental capacity or her personality or maybe her sense of compassion. So yeah, over the years, yeah, that attraction may change in some type of some aspect.
okay, I agree. So, and reason why I asked that is because obviously we're talking about what a man wants, and the physical attraction does matter. But over time, what you consider to be physically attractive, I think automatically it changes. I think we all can agree with that. What you liked about somebody in their 20s, you might still like it, but now once you're getting older, you like different things. Like I'll give case in point, right? You might see a woman that you saw in her 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever it is, but when she starts getting older and that gray hair starts to come out, whatever. So, and we talk about this. Guys like that. They like the woman with the gray hair and whatever. So I think it does change. I never thought about that when I was younger, obviously, because I would have thought the person was too old. But as you get older, things start to change. You might like the extra weight, right? You might like
Right.
the different things that come with age. So yeah, I agree. So now I'm gonna shoot one to the women, and this is for the, women only. We're not applying it to men because it's about what men wants. Do you guys ever think about that as you get older? Will the husband or your mate still find you attractive, or does it grow into the attractiveness grow as we described? We'll go with words on this one first because you're on my left side.
Who,
Repeat that
me?
question one more time, please.
So do you expect? I forgot the question. Do you expect that a man's attraction is going to change over time, naturally?
Yes.
Okay, and how so? And what ways do you think it will?
Physically,
Hmm.
um, mentally, I think as they get older, they may become a little bit more humble. I would hope.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Okay. But
Humble and recognizing that they're not still 25. That can be attractive when they come to that reality.
no, because we're talking about how they feel about the woman, not themselves, right?
No, but you said the attractiveness
Yeah, of the woman
towards.
towards the woman. Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Repeat your question. I'm sorry. I might have answered that
Does
wrong.
do
I'm
you
sorry.
do you expect, you as a woman, expect your meat to the attraction to you to change with age? Meaning, um,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, I
okay,
thought you were saying my attraction to
to
them.
them, right? No, it's
Um,
to you.
do I expect it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How?
It depends. It can get better or worse depending upon, I guess, how I keep myself up.
Okay. Okay. I was looking for that actually to see if you want to say better or worse instead of just better. That's good. Okay. Okay. Depending on how you keep yourself up. Okay. And I think
Yeah.
that's natural, right?
And probably depending upon how they're keeping themselves up too.
No, 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 no. It's not about us in this
Because if
one.
they don't care about how they're keeping themselves up, then they may not care about how you keep yourself up. But then some of them
Okay.
can be bold enough to not keep themselves up and then expect the woman to be keeping herself up.
Okay.
And
That's
then
a
they call themselves not being attracted. Okay, I'm
that
going off
no,
on the
no, no,
deep
no.
end.
That is
They
that
call
is a
themselves
very
not
valid
being
answer.
attracted.
That is a very valid
Yes.
answer. Okay. I accept that. Okay. D price.
Uh, okay. So I had my husband here too.
Good.
I
Get
just
them
got in
on.
the house. Yeah, he right here. So I think I heard your question a little differently from what you originally you said, because when you said something about the gray hair, I bust out laughing in my head because I'm not there yet. And my husband tells me all the time that he loves my hair the way that it is with the gray coming in, but I'll be quick to get a bottle of dye. I'll be quick to throw on the wig because I'm not mentally there yet. Um I feel like that attraction thing. Um, I'm very much attracted to my husband. I feel like the older he gets, the better he looks. He's starting to look a little bit distinguished now. For me, I try to do the best that I can. Again, like I said earlier, I try to look good for me. If I'm looking good for me, I'm hoping that he's attracted to me. And I hope that he's attracted to more than just what the outer appearance is. Because, like I said earlier, should something happen to me if I'm disfigured, is he still going to be here? I mean, so looks are really superficial, and I really get it. As I said, I was heavier before. I'm a little smaller now. I don't work out as much as I should, but when I do work out, we try to work out together as a couple. Most of that is just to spend time together, right? He's not in the gym pushing me. A lot of times he's on one side of the gym, I'm on the other side of the gym. Then we meet in the middle, and then we talk, we work out. But babe, what you think? What you think?
Well, I agree with what she said. At some point, I just feel like if you're with somebody for a long period of time, you really shouldn't be that shallow when it comes to appearance. I mean, everybody appearance fades, and the expectation should not always be, oh, she's got to be the finest thing walking in the room. At some point, she's gonna be the finest thing to you, and that's all that should matter. Um, it's more or less the other things that keep a relationship spicy. Not just the looks, how you treat each other, um, how you interact with each other in public and things like that. It's just not all about the look. So I just really do feel like what she said, at some point it has to, you have to let the looks go, because they're going to change, whether it's by nature or by accident. Anything can happen. Like she had an accident today and smashed her face in and was disfigured a little bit. That wouldn't matter to me. It would take some healing for her and some time for me to, okay, process. Well, this is what my baby gonna look like if that's what the doctor say for the rest of her life. But I don't think anything would change as far as how I feel about her, and her appearance would change. And how attractive she is to me.
Okay.
Thing
Don't go
past,
anywhere, because I got one. I got a follow up question that's I'm gonna throw at you as well. Okay, so don't go
yeah.
nowhere. This is for Shabomi. Are you on there? Thelonious Feather.
I'm not here. I'm just listening. I'm not
Okay,
here.
okay. So going back to Mr. Price, this is a question for you. Do you feel that emotional attraction can replace physical attraction?
Yes. At some point in the stage of any relationship, whether you're married or not, it should. I
Okay.
mean, if you're there, I mean, I think that's the glue, really, in any relationship, the emotional side of it. Being able to first be able to process each other's emotions, because nobody's going to share the same emotions all the time. But just being able to process that's a lot of work. Um, doesn't take I don't think it takes as much to go in for a lady to go in and throw some makeup, a wig on, and look pretty, but to maintain and be open enough to share your emotions with somebody you care about, that takes a lot. A lot of women can hold that and hide that for years and years and years and years. And then maybe one day it just blows up and all these emotions come out, and then their mate is not prepared for them. That can change a relationship
Okay.
quickly. That can change a relationship. You're not knowing your partner all these years, but you see what they look like, what they can look like on a good day and what they can look like on a bad day. But all these years, they're hiding these certain emotions and feelings, and you really don't know your partner or your mate. So
Okay.
yes,
All right. So we're going. Where's Paul? Is Paul on there? Dimitri. Now
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Dimitri, you
I'm
kind of
here.
you kind of alluded to that too. Do you feel that emotional attraction will or could replace physical attraction? And I think you kind of said that.
Do I think that emotional attraction could kind of
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Can
fade?
emotional attraction replace the physical attraction? Meaning, let's say on a scale, your emotional attraction grows to as 100, and then the physical attraction, may go down to 0, and you might still feel the same love, right, and attraction as you did before, but it's just more emotional attraction versus physical attraction.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think emotional attraction could, uh, jump the physical attraction after being with them for a while. I think it could. I think because I think it was Paul said something when the older you grow with them or whatever, you're more attracted to other things,
Other things
like
other than the physical aspect.
other than the physical aspect, like their I guess stuff connected to that personality. You see more, or things that they do or whatever that might be able to help you and stuff that you trying to do, and then you start liking them more because of that, because it's like, oh man, you know what I mean, like it's attractive,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So let me ask Marky. I know he jumped on here too, right? In what ways could emotional attraction replace physical attraction? How could that happen? Who could let that happen?
Who can let that happen? Meaning between the woman and the male.
Yeah, like so as for a man, because we're focusing on what men really want from their women, right? So how could you have a situation where your emotional attraction replaces your physical attraction for your woman?
For me, it would probably be a couple things. Understanding, if I find someone who really, really understands me, or just say I met somebody, I didn't think she was very attractive. But getting to know her, her her conversation, like her knowledge. Number one thing is for me is sense of humor. Her sense of humor and her compassion. That right there would trump the looks department for me.
Okay, okay. Paul, did you chime in on that one?
No, I think okay. So initially, yes, we're all humans, and physical attraction is important. But as you go over time, I know for me, I know for me, social awareness is very important for me. You know, that's attractive to me. When you are socially aware of what's going on, um, in your surroundings, whether it be like civil rights issues, just societal issues. That right there is will eventually um, overtake physical attraction. And I'm a person. I'm big on energy, so your energy makes you attractive to me. So that's just me.
Okay, I feel you on that one. So for me, I think that is a natural thing because as we age, obviously we don't look like we did back when we were in our, in our youth. So I think that's a natural progression to, for emotional attraction to replace physical attraction. But also, kind of like what you said, like for me, I'm a sapiosexual, right? For those who don't know what that is, somebody who's attracted to a person's intelligence, their mind, right? So for me, I think that would be an easier thing to do or easier thing to happen because that's how my original attraction is. That's like an equal thing. Intelligence and that whole spectrum of that along with the physical part. So I think that kind of always edges out the other part. And like I said, I think as guys, we're attracted to a lot of people. We have that conversations. Like, if you go into a room of 100 women, you might be attracted to like 90 of them. But what separates that one person, two people, three, well, however, what separates them from the rest? That's what you got to find out for yourself, I guess. But for me, it would be intelligence. So, yeah, I do think that's an inevitable thing if you really love someone. So I'm gonna get into something that's really this is the risky part, right? So let me recap. Okay, when we talk about what men really want from their women, we talked about number one, it was respect, and we said respect is way more important than love. We talked about peace. We talked about loyalty, appreciation, and we just talked about physical attraction matters. Now, this is important. This is important. Now, this is about sexual compatibility. So many relationships avoid discussing sex until problems appear. I think we can agree on that one, right? For many men, feeling desired isn't just physical, it's emotional. When intimacy disappears, some men begin questioning whether they are loved at all. So I haven't been there yet, but my question to you guys, this is for the fellas, is sexual compatibility as important as, let's say, financial compatibility, right? Let's say, Dimitri, you jump on that one first.
Said the sexual
Yeah, is
compatibility.
sexual compatibility as important as financial compatibility? Meaning, how you guys mesh sexually
Um,
versus you guys being compatible when it comes to the bank account and how you guys handle money.
ooh, no, I don't think it's as important as the financial.
Okay. Okay. Why? Give me a
The
reason why.
financial, because the financial going to take you a long way. Like if she's effing up money, just say you got a joint account or your own accounts, it don't matter. But if she's blowing money and you doing most of the more responsible things and you doing everything you're supposed to do, that'll end it quicker than the whole sexual what you could work with the sex thing later on.
Okay.
I think the financial thing, I think
Okay.
the financial is more
Is way
important.
more. Okay. Let me
I
let
think
me. Is Mr. Price
I
still
think
here? You around?
Yeah, he here.
Okay. Throw that question at. I want to throw that question at you. Is sexual compatibility, and I'm putting you in a hot seat because your wife is here. So is sexual compatibility as important as financial compatibility?
Um, oh man,
That's a tough one.
it's not. No, it's not a tough one. That to me that depends on the person's in the relationship, because you might have that man that, hey, you know what, I know my wife can't handle money or she's bad with money, and then hey, don't put that responsibility on her. And if she has a job and she do this for her money, but he's still able to maintain, he's not going to stress that, but she's taking care of her job in the bedroom. So it all depends. But I just think at some point in time, you get to a point, and when we talk about relationships, I always think about the length of relationship.
Mm,
That's what matters. How long you really been in this relationship? Because some of that shit you can detect early. Excuse my language, but you detect early, and you decide whether or not this is the person for me.
okay.
So you eliminate a lot of that.
Hey,
You don't
just
let some of that get that far. Oh well, she's not intimate, or she can't relate to me sexually. Well, how long you been dealing with that?
right.
Or she's fucking up my money. How
Mm,
long you been dealing with that?
right.
So you get to a point where you as you said, you don't filtered out everybody in the room.
Right.
And you got down to this one person. Now you got a timeline to meet, because you need a certain amount of years to see if this person is really your match, is your equal, and y'all can build together. And if not, hey, you got to cut those ties and restart your search.
Okay. Okay.
So when you talk about these questions, you ask these questions. There's really a timeline for how long you'll want to experience something before you decide, oh, hey, man, this ain't for me.
Okay. And just for the record, this is unfiltered with Psycho 481, so you can say it however you need to say it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
All right. Paul, Mr. Straight Talk. The question on the table is sexual compatibility as important or even more important as financial compatibility? He must have stepped away. Marky, you here?
All right. So I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, is sexual compatibility as important as financial compatibility?
I think they both play a part in your relationship. I don't know if one is more important than the other one, but they both play a part in the relationship. Been in relationships where if the guy isn't happy with the sex, he's not spending money on the women, doing the lavish things that she might want to do. And that could be due to they're not compatible sexually.
Okay.
Um, then I've seen situations where the guy don't have money, and I've seen women who, whatever the guy's doing in the bedroom, it's just like it's close to godly to her because she's gonna stick with him, regardless of not having a job, money, or whatever. So I that's a difficult one for me. For me, I don't know. I would have to check those boxes, like my man said earlier. You would have to
Mm,
check. For me, I would have to check those boxes early.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
I couldn't let too much time go by.
Okay. Now, just for the record, sexual compatibility isn't stagnant. It's not always going to be the same. Early in your relationship, you can be very compatible or not compatible, and then you guys grow into being
You can be
compatible.
somewhat pleasing. You can be trying to please the partner. So
Yes, and then you can actually fall out of compatibility. So just keep that in mind. So, Paul, with that said, what do you say? Is it just as important as financial compatibility? He must got a delay.
He's gonna say sexual is more important,
Who?
knowing him.
You,
Paul, he gonna say sex.
Who?
you.
Who?
So let me sum this up. Okay, so we're gonna. I don't want to get to who. This is what I say. Sexual compatibility is as important
No,
as
I'm not
financial.
going to. I'm not going to. For me, financial compatibility is important because once again,
Wait. Are
as
you
you
saying
learn a person,
you're saying that sexual compatibility is not as important as financial compatibility?
that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
I'm saying this.
Okay.
Sexually, like you said, over time, your preferences change. How your likes, your dislikes, what you want to do, how things, how you respond to this particular person. That's a fluent situation, and it changes,
Okay.
and that can be managed. I believe that can be managed, and like Mr. Price said, depends on how long you've been with, because you should have spotted that, at sometime in a relationship.
Filtered
But
within the first 365 days.
that can be managed. That can be
Right.
managed. That financial compatibility, that can sink you.
Well, going back to what he said, right? This is why I put less on the financial compatibility, and I like his answer on that because you may not be financially compatible by you're very good with numbers, you're very good with managing money, you're very good with investments, you're very good with whatever. She's horrible at it, just horrible at it. How do you fix that? You handle the financial part, right? So whether
Right.
she's
But
financially
but it,
compatible, that's where you go to, like, these are the rules. I'm going to handle the money. I'm going to do this, and this. And you show her, whatever, right? So I think that's
but
easier to handle than the sexual compatibility.
but it's not just the attitude. It's the mindset, how you think about the finances. That's it.
Right.
See, you're right. I'm the numbers guy. I can come with the numbers, invest and everything like that. And maybe she doesn't have that same type of aptitude. I get it. But the mindset of how you think about finances and money, that has to be compatible. I'm just saying, if you're in a relationship
Right.
with this woman,
Relationship.
because
So
that's long-term repercussions.
it is. I agree. But I'm saying to this part, you can fix that easy by just say whatever her mindset is. You take control of that, because you know what was important that we mentioned earlier: obedience. Right? We mentioned that obedience. So
Ah,
you
let's go
control.
back to the obedience.
You control the money. You
It
handle
always
things.
comes back to the
It does. So, but the sexual compatibility part is like you can change. Like, you may not know things, she may not know things. You might grow together, or you can grow apart. So to me, that is something that is going to be harder to manage because it's fluid. What's good today ain't good tomorrow. So that's easily said. But when it comes to financial compatibility, that's like me. If I wasn't good with money or handling, whatever, and I can tell you this: before we had automatic bill pay, I was always sending stuff off late, because you know what? Not because I didn't have the money, or I just didn't send off the letter. I didn't put the letter in the mail,
me
right?
too. Yeah.
So when the other person comes around, your mate, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna write this check and I'm gonna send that off, right? And they're always good at paying bills and doing whatever. Then you know what? Guess what? That's you. You handle that. I'll bring the money. I'll put it in the account. You handle that. But when it comes to sexual compatibility, you like it or you don't. You like it now, you don't later. Those things they're fluid, and you don't always change that. So I think that as long as intimacy matters, and I'm talking about sexual intimacy, and it does matter, as long as that's going to be vital in any relationship, from that first, all the way from the time you guys get together to the time where you're old enough where sex is not even happening. Okay, that's when it matters. After that, then it's up in the air. So, but okay. So now, speaking on sexual intimacy, can mismatched libidos destroy relationships? Now, I'll give you an example. and I'm gonna start with Marky on this one, but let me give you an example. She has a high sex drive. Yours is so, right? Or vice versa. Yours is high and hers is low. Could that destroy relationships?
Yes. Simple answer. Yes.
Yes.
And no more to it. Go to the next question.
You said they quick.
Okay, so I think it's a pretty easy. So, Paul, you said yes or no. It can or cannot.
It can.
It can. Dimitri, can or cannot.
I'm gonna say can to the not, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because I train my my significant others when they're
You
not
training?
compatible.
You
Yo, you
train them,
training?
man.
You training?
I,
You got a
you
pound
can,
over there or something?
That boy out there
you can
training.
listen. You can teach them. Okay. There's
Okay.
a word called teach.
Okay.
It's a word called teach. It won't ruin it all the
That
way.
boy,
You can teach
that
them.
boy said he a trainer.
Well, all right. Let me hit you on this one. Okay. So you said teach. You can't teach libido, right? You could teach them certain things, but libido is something that they're going to have or they're not. You can maybe
You
hope
talk
to.
about you're talking about the sexual energy, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you can't teach that,
Right.
but but you can teach the other things.
You can.
Well,
Okay.
very
So
good.
so you're saying
He
you're going to
said
say you
libido.
can compensate for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So let me go to and let me throw mine in there. I think it can destroy a relationship if you don't have communication. That's one, and if you don't have understanding on both parts, right? Obviously, we're men and women are different. We mature different, at different speeds, at different ages, or whatever, right? And we have different interests, different things going on. And when you talk about libido, a lot of things, you know, influence that. It could be your state of mind, your physical health, all of those things, influence your libido. So I think if you don't have good communication and understanding with your mate when it comes to that, and when I say communication understanding, you gotta know what causes it, what causes it to fail, what causes it to increase. Those are the things you have to talk about. And if you can't talk about that, yeah, your relationship is going to be destroyed because you're not going to have understanding. But I want to ask.
Dimitri said he got his CLT license, certified libido trainer license, his
you,
CLT.
you ain't training nobody's libido.
I,
But let me ask.
I say it with my chest out.
Let me ask. Words, are you in here? Okay, Donna.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
Yes.
here.
Words. Okay, Words. Go ahead. Do you think a yes or no answer? Do you think mismatched libidos destroy? Not may. Do you think they destroy relationships?
No, I don't think that they destroy them,
Okay.
especially when the man allows the woman to have another partner of the male persuasion.
Damn. Damn.
All right.
Hmm.
Can I get a one, two,
Okay.
three? Shit.
She threw something different in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I was expecting salt. She threw in spice.
I mean, I,
Okay. So I mean,
I
okay.
mean,
So now, even though she said that,
I mean
right?
that goes both ways.
Even though she said that, right? If that is a caveat to it, because let's say the man doesn't have the strong sexual libido of his mate, right? And let's say if he was understanding, aka a simpleton, and he said, okay, well, yeah, we'll let you bring in another dude to tag team. You can go, I'll go the first three innings, and you can, be the setup man, and then you come in with a closer. Okay, yeah, you can do that, and if it works for you, that's fine. I'm not,
not
whatever.
a tag team.
A setup man. I
No,
know a setup
a
man.
Not a tag team.
huh? You said
Not
no.
a tag team.
No, I alluded
He
You
in
just
said not a
he
character.
allows his mate to have a boyfriend or whatever on the side. You know, like that lady online
no.
where she has the husband, and you know exactly what I'm talking
I do
about.
not. Okay,
The
so
lady, I forgot her name.
if and that's fine. If that, like I said, if that guy wants to allow that to happen, then That's fine. That's whatever. If it fixes your
She
issue,
had
it fixes your issue.
It's the
And
she
simp.
had
and
the
look,
she had the
relationship
customer
left
service agent.
unaffected.
Oh lordy. Okay. So
That was good. That's
Donna,
good.
Donna, what did you say?
Are y'all
Hold on. No, I don't think that it will destroy um a relationship. I'm with you, Brian. Communication is key. As a 50, soon to be 58-year-old woman, I am not built like I was when I was in my 20s. Perimenopause, you know, the everyday living, the stress and this, that, and the other. I can't be hitting the back of the baseball headboard all the time, every day, all day, two, three, 10 times a day. You get 15 minutes, maybe once or twice a week, and that's enough for me.
So
For
no
my
no
husband,
traumatic brain injury for you.
yeah, no, no, no. For my husband, it's different for him though. I mean, because we have had these conversations where, that physical contact for him is very important, right? But we are not always in situations where we can be together as much as we want to be because again, as we're speaking, he's getting ready for work. He works 2 jobs, I work 3 jobs. We coming and we going, but when we get together, we get together. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to destroy your relationship, but again, it's where are you in your relationship? Are you new in your relationship? Because if you new in your relationship and y'all not compatible, go ahead and cut your things. Is it something like dude said? Can you train him or her to pleasure you the way that you want to be? Or is it like, oh, what the young lady said, do I bring another partner? And I mean, for me, no, I'm not cool with my man being with nobody. If you don't get it with me, you ain't getting it. And we're gonna
Selfishness.
try some new stuff. We're gonna do some new stuff. But now if you feel like you want to step on the other side of the street and get you a little side piece, then the door is wide open. We just gonna be doing it together and I'll meet you at the table at 6 o'clock.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's no tit for tat. If he wants to have
No,
him,
it's not gonna be tick for tack,
if he wants
but
to have him a
if you're
side piece, then he
saying
needs
to
to get him a
me
side piece.
if you're saying to me that you need a side piece because there's obviously something that I am not doing, or there's something new that you want to experience and you want to experience with somebody else, go ahead and do that. But just know when you do that, you're opening up the door and the opportunity for me to do the same thing. So if that's what worked for you, that's what worked for you. It don't work for me because I ain't in the mood to be sharing my man with nobody. And I hope that he wouldn't want to be sharing me with nobody. But I know that it's important for him. And
Right.
for a long time, I couldn't get it because I wasn't where he was at. For me, I am, for me, sometimes because of my past experience, sex is hard. So I'm more for the intimate part. I'm more for that. That's what kind of drives me. For him, he's touchy feely. He needs that physical part. So we just try to meet in the middle. So it doesn't have to destroy the relationship. As long as you guys have communication and you can kind of work with one another. But
Mm,
if you just want to be bouncing up and down on somebody and you get with somebody that don't want to be bounced up and down, yeah, you might want to rethink your priorities and just find that chick.
okay.
But
That was
y'all
Demetri
getting
said.
older, you got the Viagra. Don't nobody want to be doing it for 5 hours while y'all on that shit.
That's what Demetri said. Demetri said. Demetri said he wanna he ready to put
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
through the
Fuck all
headboard.
that. I'm going through the headboard.
All right. So let me ask you something. And I'm gonna take these. The next two questions kind of relate to each other, right? So, more or less, women. I'm not gonna say women just do it, but women and men do it. But we're talking about men and what we want for the guys. After what we just said, those questions, what we just said when it came to the sexual compatibility, is it ever okay, or is withholding intimacy considered emotional manipulation? Paul, you go with that.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That was a quick yes.
Very, very quick yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Marky, what do you say?
I agree with them.
Okay.
It's an emotional. What do you say? Emotional manipulation or
Yes.
emotional weapon?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Because I think manipulation is a weapon, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dimitri, what do you say?
I agree.
Agree,
Yeah.
Mister Price, if you still there?
He's not in the room,
Oh,
but
he's
he's
not.
definitely gonna
Are you gonna
agree.
agree?
He's definitely gonna
Okay.
agree. Definitely.
All right. So I'm gonna say yes. It is emotional manipulation with, let's say, a disclaimer, right? You can. I don't think it's emotional manipulation if you're withholding intimacy when certain things exist. Like you went out there and um, made, put her health at risk, right?
Yep.
Oh, no, that's a
Right.
that's a circumstance that yes,
Right.
yes. But we talking about
Just because you got in an argument,
withholding. Oh yeah, you mad at me,
right?
so we ain't gonna do that. Or you didn't do this, so I'm not going. So we not
Well,
going. Don't touch me.
I can even see that because not making a habit of it, but sometimes that when you do have intimate relations, you got to feel that. It's not like you can go through the motions. I think you have to actually mentally want to do it,
Yes,
right? So if let's say if my wife was let's say she's not mentally there, she might be going through something at work, something with the family, we might even have an argument or whatever. Honestly, me, if I have an argument and I'm still perturbed about it, it ain't gonna work. So i
right,
do i
right.
do understand that part. So when
It's
to you, what you're saying is that if you didn't bring me such and such home, so you ain't getting none, or you didn't wash my car, so you didn't get none, you know, stuff like
right.
that.
Or you get into a small argument earlier about something that's insignificant.
Yes, yes, that is definitely emotional manipulation. But
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an
okay,
example real quick. I was in a relationship, a situation where, like I said, for me, words are big for me. So don't talk to me crazy.
hmm
Don't talk to me crazy, and then later on, acting like, okay, hey, give me some. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah, I'm good because your words, nah.
right,
Now
because you're
what you
not
did,
mentally
you,
there,
you,
right?
you mentally took me out. Yeah,
Right.
you took me out of wanting to be in that space that to be intimate with you at that time. Nah, we good.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a statement, and this is a simple statement, and you guys tell me agree or disagree. If a couple is busy, with their lifestyles, like the prices are, they see each other when they see each other, whatever, or they're just busy with life, could be the kids, whatever. Should couples schedule intimacy? Just give me a yes or no. Should couples schedule intimacy?
I
Absolutely.
think that may yes. I think that may work. I think that works.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Donna says yes. Paul says yes. Maybe it'll work. Marky, what do you say?
For me, that's a little difficult, Brian. I have to feel the intimacy when I feel it, when I'm ready to do it. So the scheduling, no, it's like putting for me, it's like putting on an act. I didn't.
Okay,
For me, I would say no. I
I'm
don't
I'm
think that'll work for
I'm
me.
going to agree 100% with you. To me, if you scheduling, it's like work. I'm not going to be in it mentally. It's not going to
But
happen.
I don't think it like that. I look at it as I'm getting ready. My boo done scheduled some time for me and him to be together.
hmm
So that intimate part comes with, oh babe, I just done lit a fire outside. Let's go outside, have a little drink. Let's
Okay.
have a little conversation. We having a little conversation. That conversation there, the drink done set in. We looking at each other like it's time to go on in. And as y'all say, go ahead and tear the headboard up. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? So, um,
No, no,
for
I'm not disagreeing with you. It works for you, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
it
I
may
don't
not
think.
work for me
Yeah.
to schedule a time. See, and it was a little different than what you said. Also, I
Right.
was thinking a little different, like Friday, 7 o'clock. Uh, to
Exactly.
set out an
Oh yeah.
hour, for, like stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
If
That's
I
what I'm talking
schedule
about.
time, If I schedule time, you need to be there with your tool belt on, your construction hat. If I schedule this time, I put this time purposely set aside. I need you to be ready, willing, and able. Put your hat on, your hard hat on, put your tool belt on, because we going to work that day.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna stick to my gun on this one, right? I'm gonna say, even regardless of who does it, and where Donna's example was a little bit different because that's kind of like you let the moment happen, right? That's different. When we were talking about more like what Marky said, on Thursday at 3:00, we're gonna do such and such. Matter of fact, when you get off at such and such, you're gonna do that's not gonna work for me. It's definitely not gonna work for me.
Okay.
And I wouldn't expect it to work for the woman either because when you get into those places, you want them to be of mind, if you get what I'm saying. And just because you put a time on it, and if you want to set it up, you want to put all the extra stuff in it beforehand, and then the expectation is this: you're going to have some intimacy. That's different. But as far as being on a schedule, ain't gonna work. Words, what do you say about this?
I guess it depends on when you're saying intimacy. Are you specifically talking about sex, or
I'm
are you
talking about
talking about spending
I'm talking about the
time
full Monty, the sex.
for
Now,
scheduling it like
but you
that?
know what? You did bring up a good point, and Donna said it earlier. All right. So my question was, should you schedule intimacy? Now,
Mm-hmm.
it changes when you look at what intimacy is. Now, I framed it in the part of having sex. Okay. So with that, taking the mandatory sex out, let's say to schedule intimacy, does it change then?
Um, I think if you're having issues with getting together with each other, timing and things of that nature, I think it is important. I don't want to call it scheduling, but prioritizing.
No,
Even if
no,
that
we're
means,
talking scheduling.
okay, that's like setting a date.
Okay.
You're prioritizing by setting a date for a special, for some special time with each other.
Okay. If you
And
frame it,
it's,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, and it's going to be, very clear that we want a romantic night out or night in, whatever, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm scheduling us to have sex on this day at this time. No.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that's two separate situations, and I get that. If when you talk about intimacy, we talking about the whole ball of intimacy, not so much scheduling sex. I can get that. You can schedule some intimate time where it's just you, and as I think as Donna said, where you set up, you got the fireplace, you got the wine, you got the good food, you got the movies or whatever. That's intimacy as well, right? So I do understand that part. But I think where if you're looking at it as in you're scheduling sex specifically, it's not going to work. Not for me. So, but interesting. I'm glad you did mention
But,
that
but,
whole intimacy
but
thing because that makes a
but
difference.
you said, but you said intimacy, right?
Right. Intimacy is not always sex.
Right. But you said, I mean, like you scheduling because based off of Donna and Mr. Price's situation, there would be a need for them to schedule time because of
Right.
their busy
Right.
lifestyles.
So there.
So that's an
Yes.
intentional plan to share intimate time together.
Right. But and again, they
So
specifically
yeah,
mentioned that
I think that's
intimacy, not sex. It's different. So I think that's where
well
it separates.
well I'm just
You, you
the
didn't come through.
intimacy is going to lead to sex. We're going to have intimate time, but I just assume that.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just assuming that intimacy, that spending time is eventually going to be leading to that sexual situation.
And it sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, but
And
in those cases,
in some cases,
when it
yeah,
comes to sex, you have to be there, and you don't mentally, you can't just be robotic about it. Let me throw her down
No,
and
no.
whatever.
That's
Okay.
that's why I say sometimes scheduling the time can work, because like you said, not being robotic but kind of built into that situation. Because if you don't if you don't have time, or you don't schedule that time, then you're never gonna get to that point. You're never gonna, because two people working busy, having that mind frame of having sex, and maybe on the back burner. But if they schedule a time, or if they set the mood or set the atmosphere for that time, then
That may work. Okay.
different situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go into number 7. Right. We talked about those. The last one, we got sexual intimacy and compatibility, rather, not intimacy. Number 7, emotional safety. Huh. Contrary to stereotypes, many men want someone they can trust emotionally. That's important and it's undervalued. Yet, many admit that they avoid vulnerability because of past experiences that taught them it would later be used against them, right? And I think some of us know that, if you let yourself open, or feel that way, you let yourself open and emotionally vulnerable, it'll be used against you. So my question is, for the men, do you feel men are emotionally punished for being vulnerable? Paul, you at the top. Go ahead.
I would have to agree. I would have. I'm not saying it's all the time, but I'm saying most cases
Mm-hmm.
men are punished for being emotional vulnerable because of how women look at men, as how they view strength, and it's weaponized against them at some point in the relationship.
All right, so let me ask you something, and just to see if this is what you're talking about. All right, so if you get in a relationship and the man, shows that he's crying, he's emotional, crying about whatever, will it be, "Well, get your punk
Yes.
ass always crying? Why you always crying?
Yeah.
Stop being a
Yeah.
bitch."
Yeah.
Right. All right, so
Yeah.
I can see that. That's an extreme. That is the extreme. Um, what do you say, Marky?
I think they are punished, and it's bad because I've seen them punished on both sides of it. I've seen men for having showing no emotion get punished because they don't relate, they don't talk, they don't open up. Then I've seen men get punished for being vulnerable. And and I had a conversation with someone. I was like, "Well, how can you punish somebody for being vulnerable?" Sometimes men try to talk, and I know people say, "I'm not being heard. I'm talking, but I'm not being heard." Then I know some people like, "Nah, a man is supposed to be tough, take care of the house and everything, be the backbone." But my question is always after that, okay, who's going to be my backbone when this one wears out? When I'm being the backbone for everyone else.
Okay.
With me, I have no problem with being vulnerable. I have no problem with doing it, but my thing, I try not to do it because I don't want to. I don't want nobody close to me to let me down, and I don't want them to see me being let down.
Okay. So you're gonna remain guarded. I would.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So speaking of that, why do men hide certain feelings that they have, like, say, depression? We all go through certain times of when you're depressed, so to speak. But why do we as men hide depression? And I'm not talking about clinical depression. I'm talking about when you're depressed over certain things. You're not letting it out. You're not crying. You're not doing any of those things that make you seem vulnerable. Why do we do that? I'm gonna go with Dimitri on this one.
Are you talking about high depression from your significant other, or
Yes.
just in general?
No. Just we're talking about from our woman.
Because you don't want the woman to see you mentally break down.
Okay, that was an easy answer. You don't want to. You won't want to feel vulnerable, and as men, we feel that we have to be that strength, and
Right.
that was when we said that the three things that we were responsible for: provide, protect, and lead. You can't protect when you're feeling, whether it's true or not, or is perceived when you're perceived to be weak or vulnerable? Okay, easy answer. And I'm speeding this up a little bit because of time, as I know it's getting kind of late. Um, for can emotional safety be rebuilt after betrayal? For any of the men,
It's hard. It's hard.
it's hard.
I mean, it's hard to be rebuilt.
It
Yes.
may it can probably be rebuilt, but it probably well it can be rebuilt, but it probably wouldn't be rebuilt for the same significant other.
Okay,
For me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna always
Yeah.
be looking like, nah, I tried this with you before, and this is what you did to me. That's not for us. And
okay,
maybe the next person, I
okay.
could open all the way up to.
This one's for the women. Question for you. When we're talking about emotional safety and being emotional and vulnerable and all that type of stuff, how do you feel about your man crying? And I'm not talking about. Let me eliminate some things. I'm not talking about a funeral, and I'm not talking about. No, that's it. We take just funeral, and we're not talking about tears of joy, like seeing your daughter, your son making accomplishments and all that type of stuff. How do you feel about your man crying? Words. See, I gave it an opportunity.
I don't. I'm here. I just have to get it off of
I
mute.
got you. Good.
I don't have an issue with that. I think I'm probably bothered more when my man would not cry or come off very unemotional.
Okay. So okay, it's totally fine with you. Um,
Yes.
what about during arguments?
What do you mean? If he
When you guys getting
cries during
when
an
you guys
argument,
yeah, when you guys getting
like a
heated
like a
arguments.
bitch.
See?
If he cries like
Exactly.
a bitch during an argument, oh, I have no respect
Exactly.
for that.
Now,
Immediately.
Point proven.
now
I'm
I
just
know she's joking, but it's truth behind that. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody want a man who damn cries all the time. So yeah, okay. I just wanted to throw that in there. Now I'm gonna go with the last one. This is for emotional safety. In this modern times, right now, 2026, does society still expect men to man up, the so-called man up for everything? What do you think? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you know why? Hold on. I'm mad that I got left out of that last question. I want to say something.
Go ahead. You can go
I
back.
want to say something. I think for me, one of the most manly things a man can do is to allow his feelings to show even in an argument.
Okay.
You show me tears. You show me that you're there and you're present. You show me your feelings. You show me that you're human. I don't need a robot. I don't need a man who has to be as hard as a rock. Society, especially with black men, we put a lot of pressure on our men to be stronger than the strongest man, stronger than Superman. And it's so unfair that he cannot always express himself. So sometimes if you get in an argument in a heat of the moment, if you feel like you need to cry, you can go ahead and cry. That's not a bitch move. That's a human move. That's being a human being.
Okay. So
So
that actually answers that question. Society expecting men to man up. Also, correct?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Man up for what? Shit, times is hard out here.
Yeah.
Shit, people, what me and my husband working 2, 3, 29 jobs to maintain our, we have to intentionally work on the relationship because we know just by working every day, gas prices higher than freaking milk. I have to have 129 chickens in the yard just to get eggs and shit because I refuse to pay the prices that's in the store. I can buy a $10 chicken and have eggs every day. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a lot to put on a man to say that you have to be everything and everything to everybody and carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Black men, y'all carry the world of the weight on your shoulders, and y'all think that being so strong and so tough and that's manly. That's not manly. That's
Well,
really not.
well, I'm
It's really
glad you
not.
said that. I'm glad you said that because I
But,
feel me.
but
I'm
we
a
were
very
taught that. We were
yeah. We
taught
were
that.
taught that, but I feel for me,
Absolutely. And I understand.
I'm a very emotional person, right? I'm very emotional, and I show my emotions all the time. And I don't have a problem crying. Like I cry all the time because I just feel. I
You lie.
feel.
You lie, Swayze.
I
You
wanted to see where
lie.
you were
You're a
gonna go
robot.
with this
You lie.
lie.
You lie so much.
I
You
wanted to
lie,
see
baby.
where you were going with this lie. I'm just wondering. Go ahead,
I
finish your
say you
story.
lying.
I'm a very emotional guy, man. I think I'm thinking I'm gonna cry right now. So,
He's so
all right.
crazy.
So let's go on. We're gonna go on. The last one we're gonna talk about number 8. We talked about emotional safety, um, loyalty. We talked about physical attraction matters. We talked about sexual compatibility, respect, and peace. Oh, and also appreciation. The last one of tonight or episode on this episode, part 2, we're gonna talk about partnership instead of competition. Okay.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
let me explain this. Some relationships become scoreboards. I did this, you owe me, I sacrificed more. And men say they don't want another competitor, they want a teammate. So that's what this is based on. Now, in your opinion, this is for the fellas, are modern relationships becoming competitions?
Yes.
Yes.
Are
Okay.
they, wait, are they becoming? Would you say
Are modern
competition?
relationships becoming competitions?
Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, yes.
Okay. So, and you guys are saying yes. I'm assuming that the same those things that came up. I did this. You owe me. I sacrificed more. All that type of stuff,
Right.
right? Okay,
Right.
Marky.
I do have to agree with for the most part. Well, what you see on social media, those are not real relationships, but they are becoming competition. I don't think that wouldn't be my conversation unless I'm not being appreciated, and I'll have to point out why I should be appreciated. But I think the average person don't act like that. This is the social media relationships and those who tend to follow that, which still are not real relationships.
Okay. So for me, I can't say that because I don't think I've ever experienced this. And I don't recall
Well,
offhand.
hold on, Brian,
Okay.
just to clear mine up and to clear kind of it may make you change your answer too.
Okay.
You see it when the guys it's nothing. You call it a simpleton, aka a simp. When the guys out there buying this, well, I just bought this $5,000 bag for her. He out there bragging to his friends, and he flew me out to this place or whatever. That's the way I'm looking at it. So hopefully, that's how you
Okay.
was asking the question, and in that sense, I'm saying that yeah, they're becoming competition. See if how much money he can spend on me, or I can get him to spend on me, or even females buy guys. I bought him this watch. Same
Okay.
thing.
So in your view is the competition comes from uh, them putting you in competition with trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Okay, in that case, yes, I do see that a lot. When my perspective on it, I was thinking of the competition within the household. Like, you know, we do some relationships. They do tend to compete against each other. Like, you know, like counting what you're doing compared to what they're doing. Oh, it's supposed to be 50-50, which is a big fallacy. There's never supposed to be 50-50, but they start counting what they do and what you do and try to, make sure everything's equal or unequally advantaged to them. So I do see that. So I'm gonna ask. Hold on. Let me go with. Let me go with Dimitri on this one because you're the single guy. So I'm gonna ask the single guy.
Not the teacher, not the one with the school.
I
Yes.
do want to say this though. I
The
do want to
Abbott.
say this. I do want to say this though. Well, to reflect on what Donna said about the guys, being emotionally coming out and the woman respects them more like that. Because that is true because I got this cousin that's a Giants fan, and he very emotionally he cries all the time, so he lets his emotions out. So I just that Donna, you were right on that. You were right on that. But go ahead, Brian. What were you gonna ask?
My question to you is, um, in your opinion, what does true partnership look like to you?
True partnership. Can I go off of what I see on TV?
You can go off of whatever.
Nah, me, that wouldn't be fair, me. You going off just nah, you can't go off what you see on TV. Go off of you, what you feel in your relationship.
Well, now hold on. Going back to the
Well,
prior episodes,
if I
right? He said he's never
yeah,
had a lasting
Oh, okay.
partnership,
Past
right?
2 weeks, I
Past
forgot.
two
Yeah.
weeks, right?
okay, y'all teaming up on me on
No.
that.
I'm not teaming.
Um,
I'm giving you credit for being able to answer this because you said you've never had one lasting more than 2 weeks. So for you, you can use what you've seen, whether it be friends,
yeah, because
family,
I was gonna say
TV.
I'm
Yeah.
probably not. I'm probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm probably not the one to ask that because I didn't have the experience like y'all on a longer term. Well, I said 2 weeks, but it was like a month. It was like a month. I just over exaggerated. So I was the partnership would be the Cos still the Cosbys. How Bill Cosby was a role model. Huxtable with Claire Huxtable. I take that. Even though that's television, I take that. I look up to that kind of as a healthy partnership.
Okay.
Same way with Harriet and Carl Winslow from Family Matters. I look at those type. More than
Oh,
Well,
Winslow.
Wait
me
a
and
minute.
my husband, me and
what's
my
so
husband,
funny?
we
What's so
Weezy and
funny, Paul?
George over here.
Wait a
Uh
minute. Wait a
You
minute.
said what?
I
Wait.
said, me and my husband, we Weezy and George over here. Then
Yeah, even no, but even that, even well, nah, maybe
The
not that one.
last
But
serious
yeah, even
relationship I was in, it was like Martin and Gina.
that. Okay, I guess y'all making my expectations better look
Hey,
really good.
all right. So let me go back to Marky on this one, right? Because you're married, and then I'm gonna ask Paul because you were married. Marky, what does a true partnership look like in your opinion?
well, not married, but long enough to be labeled married.
Okay.
Um, what does a true partnership look like?
Yes.
Um, as long as we can come to an agreement, everything is not an argument. We don't have to. As long as we can communicate, we can communicate. You can open your mouth and talk. I can find my way around and through anything else. But you got to be able to communicate with me. And honesty.
Okay.
Without those two things, nothing's gonna work. I can even work with like I said, a sense of humor is very important with me. I can
Hmm.
even work around that. You ain't gotta laugh at my jokes. Somebody will. Um, just and I'm not meaning a woman, another woman, just
Right. Yeah.
people in general. But as long as we can communicate, and it's gonna go back to something else you said. I know how to get to a dollar. I can lose a job today and pay the mortgage for the next 30 days.
Hmm.
So that's not it. As long as I got somebody to back me on to make sure it's paid on time because
Okay.
I have the money, but I might not pay it on time.
You need that. You need that.
So I need that
That backup quarterback.
yes, yeah. Well, that back. She's really the starter, but I just
Okay.
got younger legs, so so I need that starter in there to basically balance the check balancer and someone to basically balance the house and the family for me. I'll make sure we got everything else.
Okay.
But if
Okay.
we can communicate and as long as we can communicate, that'll be fine.
Okay. Paul, what do you say?
Collaborative efforts.
Okay.
You play your role.
Okay.
I play mine.
I like that.
Bingo.
You have a task. You have a role. You have assignment. You carry out your assignment. I have a role. I have tasks.
Oh, we losing you.
Carry out my assignment.
Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of teachers up here.
We meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We collaborate because we're all trying to get to the same people with different. You got me? You
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah. Co-
All
collaboration
right.
and play your role.
When you're on the same agenda and you're collaborating,
Okay.
that's a partnership. When
Okay.
you're in competition and everyone has a different agenda, that's not going to work.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with your how you defined it. 100%. Play your role, whatever role that you have to play. That's going to be decided when as you get together and you learn each other. But and please talk about this beforehand. But play your role. Another thing when I say is a true partnership is that, like he said, play your role and obedience. You have to be obedient, women. Be obedient. Okay. If you're obedient, everything falls in place. Right? Okay. So let me ask you this. Now this is gonna be a hot topic right here, right? Can both parties lead at different times? Or it should be one leader. Let me go with Dimitri on this again, because we had a reoccurring conversation on taking charge. So Dimitri, can both parties, can both a man and a woman lead at different times during a relationship?
See, you know what I'm going to say. I'm,
Say it, because
I'm,
we getting overtime here, so you got to say
I'm
it.
going. I'm going to say you said the key word different times. I'm going to say yeah, but I will you know me. I will prefer the man to
Okay, okay.
do our thing.
Short answer, because we're getting up here in time. Paul.
At different times, yes.
Okay. Marky.
Yeah, because sometimes you need a softer tone, and the woman will have to step in where the man, doesn't know how to be that softer tone.
Okay. I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say a big no, like capital letters no. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can't have multiple leaders. That doesn't work. It doesn't work in business. It doesn't work, period. There's going to be problems. Now, where people say leading, you can still lead, but you don't have to. Leading doesn't mean that you have to make all the decisions. You don't have to, be the boss or be the smartest person, the most skilled person. That doesn't mean that. You can still lead. And leading sometimes means knowing when to let your mate step up and do what they do, right? If they're better at something, that's your time. You're still leading, but you're going to say, well, you know what, babe, you got this because you're better at this than I am, right? That's still leading. There's never a situation, in my opinion, where a leader trades off. No, because there's going to be a time. If you do that, there's going to be a time where you're going to have that time where who's leading at this point, who's leading at this moment. So no, one leader, and if you're a good leader, that doesn't mean you have to be the smartest, the most skillful, the most any of that. No, sometimes you have to let that person, your mate, step up and say, you know what, I'm gonna take control of this situation because that's what I'm good at, right? So that's what I say. But anyway, we went long on this one. It was an hour 30 minutes at least. So closing, I need a word of the day for part 2 of what men really want from their women. Give me a word of the day. Somebody throw one out. I don't care who.
Auspicious.
Obedience. Obedience.
Oh, you know what? Let's go with
No,
obedience.
no. Let's go with obedience.
Yeah, we're gonna go with obedience. Today's word of the day is obedience. So, again, get those words in a day. Words of the day for each episode during the month, and send it up to unfiltered.cycle41@gmail.com and get your opportunity to win a prize. First come, first serve, obviously. So definitely keep in touch. But listen, you guys, this was a good episode, and I still want to come up with that. I didn't add obedience in here as one of the things, but we're gonna have to talk about that in the next part 3. So if you guys please come back for part 3, because this is gonna be interesting. The last the last few is gonna be very interesting, because there's gonna be some hot seat questions, and then of course women. We're going to do one, what women really want from their men. Okay, so don't worry. You guys are going to be the focus on it. It's coming up, and we're going to be all ears and waiting for y'all to say, obedience. Okay, so catch you with part 3 of this episode.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Unfiltered with Psycho 4081. Big respect to our guests for keeping it real, and love to every listener rocking with us week after week. This conversation ain't over yet. Stay locked in for the next episode coming soon. Until next time, keep it unfiltered with Psycho 4081.